This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are with the third installment of this series where it started from working on a pattern from a photo and then me taking the pattern and altering it. This time I've reduced it down to 6 strings or 12 coming down from the loop. So it's 6 strings that goes into the loop, right? So they all have the same colors and whatever. So most people would just call it a 12-string bracelet. I just have a struggle with the notion that there's just 6 strings, but they flip over the top. I get it. 12 strings seems like it's so much harder than 6, so that's why people tend to do it. This one, going into it, I wasn't sure that we were going to get a third color, right? But it totally does, and it totally works so well. And I was a little unsure when we made the pattern and we were putting that in, like keeping it to the edge the way it does, if that would be harder than, maybe if there would some kind of different way of doing it. Turns out it's easy. And it's again one of those cases of once we get the pattern kind of going, it just goes, and it's really simple. And yeah, it was kind of fun actually. And I have to admit, because we started with the photo and that was 26 strings, and then the notion to try to reduce it down to 16, we went from the hardest possible down to easier, down to this one, which is the easiest yet. As you bring this one row down, it gets to the end, you just have to remember to make it bounce back inwards. The red has to stay to the outside. Other than that, it's kind of the same stuff we've been doing. It goes over its own color, goes 2 knots, and then bounces back on the third. It's, again, with the repetition, I had to use the counter because it just keeps looking the same. It doesn't do anything in the halfway point. There's no something to kind of let you know that you're getting close, other than your strings are getting short. Again, the dark color gets used an awful lot. The red wasn't as bad, still used a bunch, and then the light color, not so much. I changed up the colors a bit this time around, so it's kind of a dark gray kind of color. Then our background color is sort of a very dusty pink, and then the color on the outside is kind of a coral red, which they all just really go so well together. I'm not sure that the camera picks it up as well as the real thing, but I absolutely love the way this one turned out. It's a really fun kind of bracelet, and it kind of has almost a Celtic look, like that the dark string is like kind of circling around and going under and stuff. It has an element of that, and yet somehow looks completely different from it altogether, which is really kind of fascinating to me. I've done a lot of work where I played around with a Celtic thing. I don't know what it would need more to make it kind of have that look, but maybe like a space in the center of, instead of just like where the 4 light colors are kind of like a box in the middle, it almost kind of, maybe that needs to change or something. I mean, I don't know why it doesn't 100% look like a weaving thing. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool bracelet nonetheless. This is still a little bit on the intermediate side. It's not terribly difficult, but you have to be comfortable with knots that go to the right and then left, or left and then right, in order to get the strings to go in the right direction. If you're not comfortable with those, then just you need practice. That's all it is once you get good with tension, you practice up a bit, then doing patterns like this will be a lot easier. This is easier than what we were doing before, like the 16 string one. It is definitely easier than that, and its repetitive nature would mean that you would get a chance to keep trying. If the first couple rows are a little sloppy, keep working. By the time you get to the end of it, you should pretty much have it figured out, and then the next time you make it, it'll be even better still. So there's always a chance for learning. Also, I do really think that the way I segment knotted this definitely helps to keep it going kind of quick. Overall, like time-wise, this wasn't so bad. I don't remember exactly how long. Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember how long this took. 20, 36, 46, 50, 62 minutes? A little more than an hour. So yeah, this was pretty quick. I think that's right. Trying to do the math off of the videos. I break the videos up into parts so that way I can take little breaks in between doing this and stuff. But yeah, a little more than an hour to make a bracelet. Not bad. And the end product is, like I said, it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I could really, well, you kind of could shave off like one more string off of it and still have that center part. But I think this is as far as we're going with this. 12 is kind of about the smallest I tend to make my bracelets. Not just because of how much of a challenge it is, but as far as how it looks on the wrist. Anything smaller, just a little too small for my tastes personally, and what I like to keep in the shop. So this is kind of my standard size, I would say, and then from here I go upwards. So I have not figured out what to work on next. I'm kind of excited that this whole series was fun and everything, but I don't know what I'm working on next. Oh, and I don't know where the halfway point in the video is. So let me just thank my YouTube members for making this possible. Without their help, I wouldn't have all the string needed to be able to keep putting out pattern after pattern after pattern, day after day. We've been, I don't know if you realize this, but we're going on like 2 years of the daily videos, and we still even have like bigger projects during the live stream. So there's a lot of string that I'm going through here, and yeah, it's their support that helps make that possible. So thank you guys so much. I'm about to do this massive string order, and I'm like really kind of stressed about it. I know I keep talking about the need for it, but now it seems that like I've got the colors pretty much figured out. So that's coming up here soon, and yeah, should be cool. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a big order if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be fun. If you guys have questions about maybe making the bracelets or patterns that you want help with, that kind of stuff, let me know. I will do my best to try to help you. Oh, this is where I made a mistake. So this row is off, and there's going to be a break in it, and then it's going to suddenly come back together. Pretty sure that's it. Is that it? No. I did make a mistake in here. Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I made a mistake in this one. Again, I was watching a movie and just got a little too distracted with what I was doing. And yeah, it suddenly fixed. It's the magic of video. So there we go. I did that on the last bracelet too, I think. It kind of figures. The movie was actually, I was watching part 2 of Dune, And the other one, I think I might have actually been watching the first movie. So yeah, kind of goes figures. There's a lot going on in those movies. There's a lot to take in. So kind of explains my distraction. Cool movies though, by the way. I don't usually like to talk about like what else I'm watching with it, but those were pretty cool. I liked it. It was having seen the original long ago, kind of recognized a lot of the events that were going on, and they took what was all in one movie last time and made it into two separate movies. But this way they got to kind of show a little bit more of what was happening during that time where he was kind of getting used to the area and stuff. So that was cool. But yeah, you're not here for me to do movie reviews. Back to the bracelet. Fun, relatively easy, definitely repetitive. Like I said, I had to use the counter. The counter just kind of gives me a rough estimate because I do accidentally forget to do it sometimes. But when it got to where the number was close, I think there's like 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 of the little red things on the edge. So kind of every time I finish one of those, just hit the clicker, get to 12, know that it's the end of the bracelet. But yeah. What else can I tell you? It's kinda it's so much like the other patterns. There's just less of it to have to do. It doesn't necessarily make it a whole lot easier, but it definitely makes it a whole lot faster. You know, because at the end of the day, it's just how many knots are you tying to complete rows to, go across the whole thing. So yeah, a lot faster. Still pretty. You basically only need 3 colors of string to do it, so that's kind of not bad. You just need 3 that make a nice contrast but still sort of stay in the same family. Oh, that was one of those. Have you ever had it where when you go to tie the knot, the string kind of slides up and catches the tail of itself, and so then you suddenly can't get it to come undone? That was what had just happened there. Doesn't happen to me very often, but periodically it's just a huge nuisance. So that's what that was. So yeah, like these 3 colors seem to be like in the same family, but then still contrasting. And I think that's what makes this pattern really work. I wouldn't go with like a red, blue, yellow kind of thing, I would go with something like 3 shades of red or 3 shades of blue or 3 shades of orange or something, but with contrast, right? I somehow think that the darker color for doing the little S shape works out really well. So I would definitely recommend that. And for a nice strong contrast, I think the lighter color as the background color works out kind of better that way as well. So that's kind of what I ran with. That's kind of how the original was as well. I don't know if you saw the original. It was last week, I guess. But yeah, go back and check out the original with the pattern that it came from. That was sort of the original had like more earth tones, kind of more like what this is. But then I changed it to shades of blue. So, you can kind of do whatever you want to experimental wise. I'm just kind of giving you some ideas of what kind of works, because sometimes, colors don't mix as well, especially with certain patterns. But this combo right here, this definitely works. This is definitely way cool. Yeah. Oh, and if you're interested in the bracelets, basically they go in at the beginning of the following month, because I still have to do the 1 month review. So I keep them to myself, at least for that duration. And then at the end of the month, they all go into my shop. So if you're interested in this or one of my other bracelets, yeah, go check it out over on my website, akaawol.com, and then you can go to the shop. So yeah, lots of bracelets there to be choose from. For all those people who like the bracelets but don't want to do the work, I got you covered. I think we're getting near the end. I don't know quite how much more we have left, but we're getting near the end. So again, if you guys have questions, want me to work on a pattern from a photo or something, let me know. Oh yeah, it is totally, and those strings didn't get the diamond at the end. So yeah, we're almost there, guys. Big reveal coming up, and yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Honestly, people who watch this far into the video, I definitely appreciate it. It helps the YouTube to, you know, say that my video must be captivating. So thank you guys so much for that. And hopefully you enjoy the pattern. I definitely think this is a really brilliant one, and would love to see your version of it. So, you know, share that over on Discord. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.